Tell me about Mumford, Texas. What is Mumford, Texas?
Mumford, Texas is a farming community in no man's land.
In rural southern Robertson County, you'll find a farming community called Mumford, Texas. Population about 170. And while it's not quite in no man's land, you can be forgiven for thinking that nobody lives out here. It's just a bunch of farmland for miles and miles around. The railroad runs through town, but it doesn't stop. The general store has been closed for several years, and even the post office is slated for closure soon. But what Mumford does have is a pretty incredible school district, one of the most cost-efficient in the entire state of Texas. They only spend $5,571 per student, compared to the statewide average of over $11,600. Mumford receives the coveted exemplary rating every year from the Texas Education Agency. How is it they're able to be so successful while spending so little? It comes down to three keys. Mumford has less administration, they have less bureaucracy, and ultimately a lower cost of education. They save their money, and they have an incredible $14 million in cash reserves. But most amazing of all, Mumford has no debt whatsoever. How could a school district have no debt?
We kind of know the philosophy is that you don't build if you don't have the money to pay for it. So everything that we have here is paid for, and we didn't build until we had the money to pay for it. With the amount of tax value that we have here in Mumford ISD, a bond issue just really wouldn't do us a lot of good. We couldn't generate enough money for a bond issue, so we have to save our money, and as we save, and then we can build.
You'd figure Mumford would have nothing, spending as little as they do, but they do have decent, if simple, classrooms, and they have computer labs. They have a playground, but surely they couldn't have anything like a gymnasium. Well, actually they do. They have 2 gymnasiums. The head athletic director and basketball coach at Mumford thinks that they're doing just fine. How do you feel about the state of athletics at Mumford?
Real good about it. We're giving everything we need to be successful. We get the most out of our dollars. Our coaches coach the junior high as well as the high school, and they teach all day long. It's not something where they just coach a sport and stand around.
Oh, Mumford also has 2 outdoor AstroTurf fields and practice facilities for both baseball and softball. They're so nice that big nearby school districts actually play some of their big games here. One of the key takeaways from Mumford is how little administration they have.
I think I contributed a lot of the savings to the fact that we don't have a lot of overhead and we don't have a lot of administrative personnel working at Mumford. You know, we have a lot of people wearing a lot of hats, and a lot of people do a lot of work here, but we don't have an abundance of administrative staff.
Mumford only has 2 administrators, the superintendent and the dean of students, who also happens to be the counselor. The lack of administration means less red tape and bureaucracy. Bainski believes in letting his teachers teach and doesn't get in the way.
I think the key to success in education is good teachers. You know, the success of a school is your teachers, and if you have outstanding teachers, pay your teachers well, be sure that you got good, trained, qualified teachers, and hire good teachers. That's where your success is going to come.
The teachers seem pretty happy with that arrangement. Now, Mumford spends less per student than almost anywhere else in the state, but the results are also at the very top of the state. So why do you feel that is?
Wow, a dedication. You know, everyone works together, teachers, parents, administration. It's a team effort. And I just feel we all work together, and we pull our resources. It doesn't necessarily have to be maybe, you know, within the school, but we do get what we need, so that's very surprising.
Why is Mumford able to get better results with less money?
I think because they give their teachers more freedom to actually be teachers and teach, instead of putting specific constraints on them that you have. Everyone has different teaching styles, and so what might work for one person or one group of kids is not necessarily always going to be the same. And so there's a lot more freedom, I feel like, to make those adjustments to help the kids be successful.
In addition to low administrative costs, Mumford has found innovative ways to save money along the way. One such method is the superintendent serving as his own contractor.
We don't have contractors. I was able to be the contractor of all the schools that we've done here, and so by being our own contractor and hiring the subs ourselves, we were able to probably save as much as 20% of the cost of the facilities at least.
Perhaps the greatest way in which Mumford excels is just by treating education as something that has to compete to be the best. It doesn't settle for average. It strives to win over parents by providing the best product.
School choice, I think, is great within the public school system, and I think that we're surviving here simply. Mumford exists because we have transfer students, so parents that come in here by choice. Over 90% of our kids are transfer kids, so they come here by choice because they want to come here because of the quality of the education you're getting. I think competition is good. Competition is good in business. If you I consider school a business, and you have to operate that way. And our product is the kids. And if we're going to put out a good product, then we're going to have business. And so our business here is great because we're putting out a good product. So I believe in competition. And I think schools need a little more competition, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Undoubtedly, the lessons that Mumford ISD can teach us are worth learning. For the Center for Local Governance, I'm Jess Fields. See you next time.